Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're doing a short little video on HEATMOR. So I really haven't said much as for maintenance on the HEATMOR or what things to look after or how to run it really. I showed you guys quite a bit on how efficient that they can be and how they are, but not how to really maintain. So this video I'm going to kind of go over a few different things. As you can see, I have a little bit of a problem here. I'll show you up top. That's not smoke. That one up there, that's smoke. By the way, yes, I just put that on. You guys have probably seen in another video. The first video, I didn't have that chimney pipe on, and what I was having issues with was on a really windy day, it'll force air into the stove, and I thought it was because with no chimney pipe on, there was a lot more opportunity for the wind to go over the chimney pipe and to suck air through, because the fan to blow air in is down there, and there's no real direct nice way for the air to get in through that fan. So between the air could easily get in that way, like freely, if there was drag to open it up from the top. So I put the chimney pipe on. I had somebody, the bottom piece was rotted right off, the piece that slid into the stove. So it was not being held on by very much. It was complete junk. And then while he was there, I said, hey, can you make it a little bit taller? Instead of buying a whole new piece, I said, can you weld on a spot, weld on a piece that you got kicking around? He didn't have anything kicking around, so he rolled that piece. That's as big as a piece he could fit in his roller. So he welded that on. And the higher up I get the smoke, I found, now that it's up there, it comes down a little bit on a windy day. On a really windy day, it comes down, you know, about there, and then it goes straight across. So you don't have any of that, especially if you got other buildings or your house is that way or something. The higher up you can get it, the better. But going back to my steam issue, is there are thermostats. I'll show you right now. We've opened up the main door. There's my thermostat. This is the one that controls the fan. So there's a little temperature probe back in there. See there? There's your probe. That tells you the temperature, so that thing is in the water. Well, the probe is not in the water. There's another brass piece that's in the water, or copper piece, and then that radiates the heat to the thermostat and tells it whether it needs to turn on or not. Because it's not sitting on there properly, I have a feeling it doesn't really work right, because you can see it steaming out. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it bubbling. So the water is boiling, which is why it's evaporating. So I'm gonna fix that, get this on there properly. It should sit like this. It's how it should sit. This one here it works. You just can't read it, because every time I open the door, smoke comes out and then fills it up, and it's no good. But I'll show you also, down here is the fan. Gotta take my glove off. There's the little fan. And there's a flapper just on the other side of this here that when it's not blowing, it closes against. Well, I have a feeling that that flapper is easily moved. And when I called my HEATMOR guy, he said to put some self-tapping screws in, or a nut, small nut and a bolt to add a little bit of more weight to it. So we're gonna be taking that apart today. It's just a couple wing nuts here, and I can pull this off, drill that hole. I'm not going to disconnect it from the power because there's no point. I just need to, I can get this up and up here to work on it easily, and I just got to drill a hole. I also see the insulation is a little on the sad side. We're not going to get to the insulation today. We'll get to that in the summer, but I'm going to drill that hole. So you hear the fan just kicked on. Which is odd because it was boiling. It still is boiling. And it's telling me that the water's not hot enough. So that probe, the probe is not in there right. So I gotta fix that probe. And then I did show in the other video, there's a sensor on the back here. This sensor is in good. But this sensor, if it gets too hot to whatever temperature this is, it kills it. Which I have it set at just over 220. I should probably turn that back so that it doesn't get that hot. There, it's at 190. So yeah, we have the two pumps. This one goes to the barn, that way, and this one goes to the house, that way. The lines work great. The pipe works really good. Another maintenance thing is to clean out here. These are your chimney pipes. I can show you better from the bottom. There's the two pipes that go across. They do this so that air can get through, or water is through there, so the exhaust can heat the water before it goes completely out and you lose it, the extra heat out that way too. Well, I'm really at a loss as to how to truly fix this, but I have a couple ideas that I'm going to try. I'm gonna see if that piece will come out. It is threaded in there. I just don't know if it's gonna leak, like if that goes to the tank on the inside, or if it's just gonna be fine. This is also a little kill switch to turn that off so I don't get electrocuted if I'm fiddling around with it. Anyways, I'm gonna try and pull that out. If I can, then I'm gonna cut this little bolt here so that that flat piece will fit in it, and then hopefully I'll be able to get it so it stays better. I don't want any air getting back in there from the wind blowing. We're gonna try it. All right, so I got it out. This is what it looks like. The probe actually fits in this perfectly nicely, and it's all brass. So yeah, it didn't leak because I've evaporated enough water out that there's no water there. Otherwise, that's supposed to be full of water, so that this end piece is in the water to tell the thermostat exactly what temperature the water is. So as I was looking at this, there's a little hole here on the top. I'm gonna try and find a nut or something, or a bolt, little bolt or a screw or something that I can stick in there so that the piece that hooks on the back of the thermostat has got more to grab onto. So I picked up all my tape because this thing does have water. It's not pressured, but there's water in there. So I got to Teflon this up. Take my bolt out. Preferably not lose it. Put it somewhere where it's not going to fall. I'm going to make sure that this bolt hole is straight at the top. That's way better. All right, now that we got that part fixed, thermostat fixed, we're gonna temp the fan. I got everything here already. We can get to it. That's not supposed to be in there. Yeah, so this little flap, if it's really windy out, this flap will just open up. So I'm gonna drill a little hole in there and put that bolt in there. Yeah, that ain't coming off. It's important that everything stays sealed. I mean, I hope no oxygen gets through there. Or I might have to put some kind of sealant rubber stripping or something there. There we go. So while we were out there and I pulled that piece out for the thermostat, I realized that we had no water in there. Some people use a different liquid. I use water because I have it running all year round, so I don't need to worry about it freezing. There are some guys that use a different type of liquid. I forget what it's called, but it can handle being at lower temperatures before it actually freezes. So say it's, you know, -4 overnight, but it's still +10 during the day. They're not going to turn their stove on if they're just using it to heat their home. But because I'm using it all the time, I use water. So we realized that it was empty. I'm going to show you guys how I fill it up. So this is my heat exchanger plate back there. And these are the lines that go to the wood stove. And I got a tap on this one, so I can just hook this up like this. Open this tap up. That water is boiling. Turn this tap on. And then we sit and wait inside for the water to come spewing out the top of right there. Oh, she's full. Run to turn the tap off. Now, because we filled it up, I know it's gonna use a lot of more wood now to heat all that water up, so I'm gonna fill it up. It is in there. The door will close, but I gotta put a bunch of stuff around it or it won't burn it. And that's it for this video. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you learned something new, and if you have one, you might want to go check a couple of those things out that I fixed today. And your chimney, the higher the better. Thank you all for watching. Take care and God bless.